Hello, welcome everyone to Services Australia's Paid Parental Leave Employer Seminar. We are so grateful that you've taken the time out of your very busy schedules to join us today, so thank you. My name is Emma, and luckily or unluckily for you, we will find out, I will be your presenter during today's session. So before I begin today, Services Australia acknowledges the traditional custodians of the lands we live on. We pay our respects to all elders past, present and emerging of all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander nations. I'm joining you from Naarm or Melbourne, the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung and Boonwurrung peoples of the Kulin Nation. So just a few housekeeping items before we get started. To ensure we minimise background noise and distractions, may I just ask that you keep your microphones muted and your cameras off throughout the session. We really encourage you to ask questions, be brave. Please type your questions into the chat box throughout the webinar. We will address as many as we can over the chat during the session and at the Q&A segment at the end of today's prezo. To start with, feel free to type into the chat box what you are hoping to learn from today's session. This webinar is being recorded. If you miss any part of it or you'd like to revisit the content later, we will have a link to the recording on our website. All right, so today we will be covering an overview of the Paid Parental Leave scheme, your obligations under the scheme, some paid parental leave myths, how to get started, and we will provide an overview of PRODA and Business Hub. So this webinar provides general guidance on the Paid Parental Leave scheme for employers. The content is accurate as of today, the 26th of February 2026. Oh my gosh, where's February gone? And can change over time in line with changes to legislation and policy. Due to private constraints, we are unable to address specific questions about your business or staff during this webinar. If you do have such questions, a help desk number is provided at the end of today's presentation. So we will kick off today with a quick overview of what the Paid Parental Leave scheme actually is and what your role as an employee is within this scheme. I also note that all of this info is available on the Services Australia website. So the Paid Parental Leave scheme commenced on the 1st of January 2011 and it provides financial support for eligible parents, allowing them to take time off work to care for their newborn or recently adopted child. In the 2024-25 financial year, approximately 252,000 claimants received parental leave pay payments under the Paid Parental Leave scheme, 99,000 of whom were paid by their employer, and $3.2 billion in payments were made to claimants. Parental leave pay is taxable and is paid at the rate of the national minimum wage, which is currently $948.10 per week. Now, whilst parental leave pay benefits your employees, as their employee, it'll also help you. Win-win. You will be able to retain valuable and skilled staff by encouraging them to stay connected with their workplace when they become parents. It'll increase long-term workforce participation for new parents and enhance a family-friendly workplace without you having to fund the parental leave. Services Australia will give you the funds to pass on to your eligible employees, and you won't be required to pay out of your own funds. This is so important to note and can avoid complications down the track. In terms of eligibility, we'll only ask you to deliver parental leave pay to employees who meet all of the following. They are expecting to take at least 8 weeks of parental leave pay in a block made up of consecutive days, Monday to Friday, with no breaks. That block is within a year of their child's birth or entry into care. They've been working with you for at least 12 months. They are expecting to return to your employment after their leave ends. They meet our required work, income and residency tests. That is, Services Australia has determined that they are eligible for the payment. You won't have to work that out as their employer. So the length of time a family can receive parental leave pay depends on when their child came into their care. For a child born or adopted from the 1st of July 2025, parents can get up to 24 weeks of pay. From the 1st of July 2026 onwards, parents can claim up to 26 weeks. With the birth mother or adoptive parent's approval, any parent can claim parental leave pay. They can work before or after any periods of parental leave pay. They can use it on days they're not working, including weekdays, weekends, holidays, or any time that they're on leave from work. Parents can share their days and can currently take up to 20 days at the same time. These are available as part of the maximum number of days of parental leave pay available to families. They can get parental leave pay as any of the following: a single block, multiple smaller blocks, single days, or a combination of smaller blocks and single days. It's up to your employee to apply for parental leave pay through us and work out their leave arrangements with you. We'll contact you if you need to provide parental leave pay to your employee, and we reiterate here that you only need to pay them if they meet the conditions I went through on the last slide, and that we will provide you with the funds to pay your employees. So, what is your role in all of this? If we decide you must provide parental leave pay to an employee, you must do all of the following. Provide the parental leave pay to your employee in line with their usual pay cycle. Withhold tax from parental leave pay under the usual pay-as-you-go withholding arrangements. Give your employee a record of parental leave pay within 1 working day of when you pay them. Include parental leave pay in the total amounts on your employee's annual or part-year payment summary. We also need you to do all of the following. Keep a record of what we've paid you. Check the funds delivered into your bank account matches with the amounts in the payment advice that we've sent you. Keep a record of how much you've paid your employee and return any unpaid funds to us. You should tell us if your employee stops being employed by you while providing parental leave pay or works on a day they get a parental leave pay. And just a reminder, because we can, a reminder that you are not responsible for funding parental leave pay or working out if your employee is eligible. If you walk away with one thing today, let it be that. So there are some myths about the paid parental leave scheme for employers that we would like to take the opportunity to debunk. As we've already said, you don't need to fund it, nor do you need to work out if your employee is eligible. You also don't need to provide parental leave pay to your employee before you've got the funds from us, make extra superannuation contributions, accrue extra leave for employees, create a new bank account, report to us regularly, and separately identify parental leave pay in your annual financial statements. With regards to superannuation, you may have seen that there are new laws that will provide superannuation contributions for the Australian government-provided paid parental leave scheme. This has come into effect for children born on or after 1 July 2025. Services Australia is currently working with the Australian Taxation Office to implement these changes. The ATO will make the superannuation contributions for parental leave pay from July 2026, and employers will not be required to calculate or pay these contributions. More info is available on the Services Australia and ATO websites. All right, so to get started, the first thing we'd recommend is downloading the Employer Toolkit available on our website. This is a complete guide to the paid parental leave scheme and what you need to do. We'll put a link to the toolkit into the seminar chat now. Thank you, Michael. The easiest way to register for the paid parental leave scheme is online. You can do this by registering for Provider Digital Access or PRODA, and then our Business Hub online services. Your employee can lodge their claim for parental leave pay as early as 3 months before the expected date of birth or adoption of their child, and we encourage them to have a conversation with you to discuss their leave arrangements and their intention to claim parental leave pay. Once you register, we'll send you an online letter confirming your registration to provide parental leave pay. If we decide you must provide an employee's parental leave pay, we'll send you a letter to let you know. Once the baby arrives, your employee is required to provide Services Australia with proof of birth to complete their claim for parental leave pay. After they do, we'll confirm with you the claim details and tell you the date we'll send you the first payment. So let's take you through what this registration process on PRODA and Business Hub looks like. To access services in Business Hub, you must first register for PRODA. PRODA is an online authentication system based on a username, password, and verification code login. Access PRODA via our website, then select PRODA from the online account drop-down menu, which you should see on your screen. Select Login to PRODA and click Register Now, and follow the steps to verify your identity. Once you register for PRODA and create a PRODA account, we'll give you a Registration Authority or RA number. You use this to connect to Business Hub. I make a note here that to register a business in PRODA, you must be an associate or authorised person listed on the Business Australian Business Register or ABR record. This person is responsible for registering the business using their individual PRODA account. When you register, the details you enter into PRODA must exactly match what is recorded on the ABR. You can access the ABR using the My ID app to verify your ABR details. If your business has an existing PRODA registration, perfect, you won't need to reapply. You'll just need to apply for the Paid Parental Leave service in Business Hub. So, to register the organisation, you'll need to enter the following details: the name of the organisation, the ABN, and the organisation contact email address. As I mentioned before, your individual PRODA account name must match the associate or authorised contact name for the organisation on the ABR. If they don't, you won't be able to go to the next step. Hit submit and follow the next steps to register your business. After you've followed the steps to do so, select the Services tab of PRODA and go to Business Hub. Hit Apply for a service and select Paid Parental Leave. Follow the instructions to begin your application. Now, we won't take you through screen by screen right now, that would be grim, but we will highlight some of the important details you'll need to provide on Business Hub. So this is what your screen should look like at the beginning of the Business Hub process. Once you've confirmed your ABR details, you'll firstly need to provide your business's physical and postal addresses. Don't stress if these details don't match the ABR. We use them to contact your business for paid parental leave scheme purposes. You'll then need to opt in to provide parental leave pay. Tell us which categories of employees you would like to provide the payments to, and what is the total number of employees for your business. Next is your payment destination, where you add your organisation's bank account details. You must have at least one payment destination for the business. We'll pay parental leave pay for your eligible employees into this account. This is your business bank account, not your employee's bank account. Here, you'll also select the pay cycle frequency for the payment destination and the frequency of payments from Services Australia. Finally, you'll be able to assign other staff members to roles such as Access Manager or Authorised Officer if you wish. Add their RA number and contact details. Now, you just need to submit the declaration and you've successfully applied for paid parental leave services in Business Hub. I know that was a lot to digest, so once again, I will shout out to our holy text, the Employer Toolkit, and website where you'll find more info on how to do that whole process. We don't expect you to remember all of this, I promise. There is no test at the end of today. So several enhancements have been made to this landing page to make it easier to navigate and complete PPL-related tasks. Letters and tasks have been added to this page to allow you to see actions you need to complete in just the one location. If you have multiple organisation accounts and services, you only need to go to the one place to view letters and tasks for all your organisations. You'll also see important notifications and news items on this page. Once you've applied for PPL services, click the Paid Parental Leave Services tile under Your Services to take you to the page to manage your claimants. Alright, so now that you've registered and applied to administer parental leave pay, we'll take you through what services are available to you on Business Hub. There are 4 services accessible from the Paid Parental Leave tile, and the tiles you see depend on the access roles you've been assigned. For the purposes of today's presentation, we'll discuss all 4, and your screen would look like this. The first tile allows you to provide parental leave pay for new claimants. After you register for the first time, you will need to go to this tile first. Here, you can accept to pay parental leave pay for your employee once we've decided that they should be paid. You can also request a review of our decision by declining this employer determination. This may be because you don't know the claimant or believe them to be ineligible. Just make sure that you've got supporting evidence that you can upload if this is the case. The next tile allows you to manage parental leave pay for existing claimants. This screen will show claimants you are currently providing parental leave pay to. If an employee stops working with you for any reason, you must tell us of this change in circumstances here. Next up is the Paid Parental Leave Scheme Reports tile, which displays payment advice reports that Services Australia has sent to your organisation. These reports contain details of each payment as you receive for your employees, as well as the period of time the payments relate to. Last but not least is the Upload Requested Documents tile, which, as the name goes, allows you to upload documents in response to a request from us. This is done through our secure online document lodgement service. In these scenarios, we'll notify your organisation via email advising that you need to upload a document. Okay, so now that we've looked at the services available in Business Hub, we'll show you where you can manage your organisation details. There are 4 management tiles accessible from the organisation menu, and the tiles you'll see depend on the access role you've been assigned. We'll briefly discuss the options available. The first tile allows you to add or remove personnel in Business Hub, and you can assign roles to these personnel to determine what services they can use on behalf of your organisation. All personnel must have their own individual PRODA account and are added using their individual registration authority number. The second tile allows you to update your organisation details such as business name or postal address. The third tile shows your existing payment destinations for the business. You can edit these details, including business bank account details, pay cycle frequency, and frequency of payment from Services Australia, or add a new payment destination if required. The fourth tile allows you to opt in to provide parental leave pay to additional employee categories. Under the Paid Parental Leave Act, you're required to pay parental leave pay to your eligible long-term employees, but if you decide that you'd like to provide it to other employees, you can choose here to provide the payments to an additional group of eligible staff members, regardless of how long they've been working with you. Alright, so the key takeaways from today, once again, I know this is a lot of information to take in for a short amount of time, but the most important things for employers who are new to the scheme are: access the ABR to get the details you need to register for PRODA. The details entered on PRODA must exactly match the ABR. Set up your PRODA account and register for Business Hub. This can be done in preparation for participating in the scheme. Update your business bank account details and other relevant business details in Business Hub, and only pay parental leave pay to your employees after you've received the funds from Services Australia. Check the amounts received matches the pay advice on Business Hub. We have a number of support options to help you along the way when you actually get into our online services in the thick of it. Business Hub has a virtual assistant, and there's also a PRODA help desk for any difficulties you have while registering. Their contact details are displayed here, and these services are available from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Friday. We've also got a more general help desk you can contact if you experience any technical difficulties using our paid parental leave services. Their contact number is also on the screen, and their help desk is available from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Friday. And then, of course, shouting out once again to our wonderful Employer Toolkit and the Services Australia website. So that brings us to the end of today's presentation. Were there any questions? Yep, Fulvia. There will just be an acknowledgement, so you might just have to hit I accept if you jump off mute, or if not, you're welcome to put it in the chat, whatever's easier.
Hi, sorry. I just wanted to know, do you pay employees directly only when they apply for blocks, or is there any other scenarios?
Emma, I can answer that for you.
Makes sense.
It's when it's a block of PPL, so it's the first block. So if the employee was to nominate the first block of over 8 weeks, then we would come through to the employer. And then if they were to go for another block later on down the track, it wouldn't come to the employer. So your role will end after that first block. Does that help?
A little bit. We have a case right now, and she didn't apply in blocks, but she gets paid directly by Centrelink, so we're just a bit confused, that's all. Do we get notified if they get paid directly by Centrelink by any chance?
No, you would just if you're paying it first and we change, like something happens for us to end your role, you would receive a letter that tells you that your role has now ended in the paid parental leave scheme. If if the person in your employment, if they are getting paid through us right now, we will not make an employer determination for you to pay anything.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Thank you. Were there any more questions? Okay, well, that brings us to the end of today's presentation. Thank you so much again for coming. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Thank you so much.